Hi, it's Sonia with Kaizen Life Planning. My mission is to empower others to start their self-growth journey with confidence, clarity, and resilience. Today we're going to talk about something that you may not know about, and it's called Quitter's Day. And it is the second Friday of January, and it is named that because many individuals give up on their New Year's resolutions on this day. So this is the day when researchers have shown that individuals begin to fall off and not follow through with their New Year's resolutions. So today we're going to talk about why do resolutions fail? Why do people not follow through with those? Why do we get to the end of the year and want to set the exact same resolution next year? And then we're going to talk about ways that we can set our resolutions up so that we are not going to fail this year. So we're not going to think of Friday, the second Friday of the month, as Quitter's Day, even if you've already given up on your resolution. No, instead we're going to think of every day and every week as an opportunity to reset, refresh, and go into the rest of the year as if it were the new year. Because guess what? We still have more than 90% of the year left. You have a lot of time to make changes. So don't feel like if you are watching this even later into the year that you are behind, because you are not. And you can use these tools and resources that we talk about today no matter where we're at in the year. So let's start with, why do resolutions fail? So we need to get really clear with our goals, but often people set very vague resolutions, and those vague resolutions might be something like, I'm going to be healthier this year. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to work out more. I'm going to post to YouTube, right? Those are all very vague. It doesn't define what you're trying to accomplish, and what does done look like, right? Because if we think about Kaizen, which means continuous improvement, we can always be healthier. We can always post more. We can always eat better. There's always room for and opportunities to improve what we're doing. Because again, if we go back to Kaizen, meaning continuous improvement, we are always trying to improve. But if we set a clear expectation and a clear goal, and we know where we started and where we want to end at the end of the year, we're going to be able to give ourselves a big old green check mark at the end of the year saying that, yes, I did accomplish what I intended to accomplish. But if we don't define that early on, it's going to be really hard to know if you did. The next reason that many goals fail are that they're around avoidance goals. So a lot of times people will set goals that are more geared towards what they're not going to do. I'm not going to eat ice cream anymore. I'm giving up ice cream. I am not going to scroll on my phone before bed. Instead, the research shows that it's going to be a lot more beneficial for you to set positive goals. So we want to set goals that are going to give us options that what we can do. So instead of saying I'm not going to eat something, maybe we talk about what we are going to eat. I'm going to eat more, I'm going to eat a fruit or a vegetable with every meal. When I choose grains, they'll be whole grains. So we're going to think about what we can make positive instead of negative. The next reason that goals often fail is that we don't have rewards set up. So I shouldn't say goals, resolutions, right? I think of resolutions as a very specific type of goal because often resolutions are not broken down. It's like resolute, I'm going to make this change and I'm going to make it now. Whereas, with a goal, we do break it down, but we need to make sure that we have rewards that we can celebrate throughout the journey, because life is a journey. Our goals are a journey. And so we need to think about what are ways that we can set ourselves up for success by celebrating those wins. I was talking to a friend and she said, I've heard this before, that I should, come up with ways to celebrate my wins, but that doesn't work for me. Like, having a handbag ready that I'm going to go buy when I achieve this goal doesn't work for me, because I'll just go buy the handbag. I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way. That does not motivate me at all. But I'm motivated by really simple rewards, like having a habit tracker that gives me like a starburst when I successfully complete my goal for the week, or when I complete all my habits or my tasks on my calendar, I get different emojis sent to me. So I am very simple. I just need like a digital sticker or a digital high five to keep me motivated. So find what motivates you and what are the ways that you feel motivated. What continues to make you want to keep going? Because when it gets tough, you need to make sure that you are celebrating those small wins. So celebrate small, frequent wins often. Another reason that goals often fail is lack of support. So maybe you've kind of set this resolution and it's been pretty vague, and you don't tell anyone about it. Maybe you don't write it down, but maybe you don't have support in another way. Maybe the support is that your family doesn't know that that's a goal of yours. And so it's really hard to navigate your schedules to accommodate that. Maybe you don't have anybody to help hold you accountable or do it with, right? That's going to be really challenging as we move later and later into the year to maintain that if we don't have support in our environment, if we don't have people on our side that are helping us along the way. And last but not least, the last thing that is a barrier to us accomplishing our resolutions is all or nothing thinking. Right? So we're on day 9. I think the Friday is day 10 at Quitter's Day. And so let's say we get to day 10 and we said we were going to work out 3 days a week and we only worked out 2 days this week. Some people just give up. I know for me, I have to work out on Mondays or like the rest of the week is shot for me, but that's something I know and I have to accommodate for. So being aware of, what are your mind limiting factors and knowing that it is not all or nothing, right? Like I said at the beginning of the video, we still have 90% of the year left. So if you got 2 workouts in this week and last year you were averaging 1 workout a week, that's a win. That is a win. So avoid that all or nothing thinking and instead celebrate the progress that you're making, right? So we want to celebrate that progress. All right, so now let's talk about how we're going to be successful with these goals. So I told you about what makes resolutions fail, but now let's talk about what can make it successful. The first thing is clarifying your goals. So we need to be really clear about what are we trying to accomplish. We're going to rewrite our goals so that they are not vague anymore. When we get to the end of the year, we're going to be able to say yes or no, I accomplished that goal. And so we're going to use the SMART framework. This is going to be specific, measurable. You'll hear action-oriented or achievable. The A sometimes varies. Realistic and time-bound. Regardless, same principle. We're going to say it's specific. This is telling us exactly what it is that we're doing, right? So I want to lose weight. I know I want to lose weight, but it's not specific because it lacks measurements, right? It lacks what we're going to do. So I do like to use action-oriented for some of those smaller broken down goals. When we get to like monthly, quarterly, I do use some broader terms when I set my annual goals. But we do want to make sure that it's something we can actually do. So we need to be specific. We need to be able to measure it. And some people think, measuring it can be really challenging. How do I even measure that? Maybe it's just how you feel. Like maybe you're working on your personal journey or your spiritual growth. Maybe you're just rating yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel now in that area of life? Maybe you're rating your health as a 3. You feel like there's a lot of work that could be done and I rate myself as a 3. That could be the measurement. It could just be I want to increase how I feel health-wise by the end of the year to a 5, right? So we're going to set something that's realistic that we can measure, but we want to make sure we're setting those numbers to it. That's what's going to make it measurable. We talked about the action-oriented, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And realistic, the R can also be realistic or relevant. You'll hear relevant also. And the relevant part is really important because you need to make sure that goal is relevant to you. A lot of times people will set New Year's resolutions based on someone else's expectations of them. These are what we call those should goals, right? I should do this. I should lose weight. I should stop smoking. No, I want you to find a goal that resonates with you. And if it's not something that's motivating to you and you want to do it, or your doctor's saying I still need to do it, we need to do some reflection and figure out how does it connect with you. So knowing, what your vision is, what are your core values, what are things that are important to you is going to really help you align your goals to who you really are. And then we need to be time bound. And so for these annual goals, we're giving ourselves this 1 year to accomplish that. And we'll break that down into smaller goals as we move through this journey. But to start, we're going to start with time bound. Next, we need to make sure that goal is framed in a positive way. So we're not going to be negative with this goal. Instead, we're going to make this a positive goal. So we talked about this. We're not going to take things away. We're going to add to our life. So what are things that you can add to your life that will make it beneficial? Now, that's not saying that we aren't going to have to plan for that. And we are going to talk about barriers and obstacles that might come into play. But we need to make sure that they're positive. They're things like I can add fruit to my breakfast. I can add I can add a side salad to every dinner. Or maybe I'll have a side salad 3 times a week. So we're going to say, what can we add? Now we get into breaking it down. So this is where we're going to break it down. And we're going to break it down into smaller goals. So we've got this big annual goal. And we're just going to give an annual goal so we can give examples here. So our annual goal, let's say it is to be working out 5 times per week at 30 minutes every time. So 150 minutes a week we're going to be working out. And so that's our annual goal. We're at the end of the year, we are averaging working out 3 times a week. Did I say 3 times a week? 5 times a week for 30 minutes, 5 times a week for 30 minutes. But let's say current state in this last year, I was only working out once a week, maybe for 15 minutes. And it was my walks during work. We cannot jump from 15-minute walks yesterday, December 31st, or January 9th, or whenever you're setting this goal, to 5 times a week, 30 minutes. That is not realistic. That is not going to be sustainable long term because you haven't fit that into your daily life. Everything needs to be fit into your life. You have to find out where it works in your systems. We want to test those changes, figure out when we can schedule those workouts in. So instead of going from 15 minutes once a week to jumping in and having that all or nothing mentality to five times a week, 30 minutes, we're going to set milestones. So we're going to set quarterly milestones first. Those quarterly milestones, maybe quarter 1 by the end of March or whenever you're starting this, is just that I will be working out 2 days a week for 15 minutes, right? By the end of quarter 2 or quarter 1, I will be working out 2 days a week for 15 minutes because I started at 15 minutes 1 time a week. We're moving to 2 times a week. Then maybe in quarter 2, we build on that and we say, I'm going to be working out 3 days a week for 15 minutes, right? Or maybe we increase it 3 days a week for 20 minutes. And I'm saying I'm going to increase my time and the number of days. So then you want to break that down into monthly goals. So you can see how you're going to continue to break that down into smaller goals. So let's say that quarter 1 goal was 2 days a week for 15 minutes. What can I do monthly to progress towards that? So in month 1, I'm going to say I will work out on average 2 days a week for 15 minutes. And if I don't hit that and I only get 1 day, or I don't get any days that week, that's okay. We're going to celebrate the small wins. And so if we worked out at all, if we worked out once, we're celebrating that win. If we worked out twice, woohoo, we met that goal that week. Also, what I like around setting monthly goals is that if I miss a week, I feel like I can catch up with it. So what I will do is if it's a 4-week month, I won't say I'm going to work out 2 times per week. I'll set a goal for myself to work out 8 times that month. And then when I break it down, I'll break it down into 2 times per week. But then if I miss it that week, that's okay. I didn't miss my monthly goal. I can roll over one of those workouts to the next week. But that's just something that works for me. And so you have to find what works for you when you're breaking down these goals and what's an effective way to communicate with your future self, because that's really what you're doing, what you were trying to accomplish. The next thing that we need to make sure that we're doing is celebrating those wins. So we want to mark out what are those wins that we're going to celebrate? I already told you what motivates me. It's those just digital celebrations. So I have to make sure that I have trackers and systems in place on my phone, on my calendar, my habit trackers that give me those kudos, right? That gives me that celebration. So when I click off on it and it goes ding, I feel really happy that I met that goal for the day, for the week, for the month. So set up the systems that work for you. And it could be, when I accomplish this goal, I'm going to go out and buy myself this new handbag, or I am going to, treat myself to a movie. Whatever motivates you. You have to find what motivates you, and that's what you're going to use to celebrate your win. The next thing that we need to do is build in resilience into our system. And this means that we're checking in with our goals regularly. And so I talked to you a little bit about breaking that down. We need to be looking at our goals at least weekly. So write them down. I have a workbook for you that's going to be linked in the description that you could write the goals down on, or you can just write them down on a sticky note what your goal is. But I want you looking at it regularly and thinking, what is the next action that I can take to make progress towards that goal? So it's just really important that we stay current on that. My husband will ask me, well, how do you always, throughout the year stay motivated to continue to accomplish your goals? And the reason is because I have a weekly planning routine and I look at those goals every week. But you don't have to have that in a planning routine. Maybe it is just you have it posted on your computer. Maybe you have the goals on your mirror that you look at every morning, but have a way that you're reminding yourself what your end goal is. The last thing that we want to do is find social support. So we talked about this as a limiting factor to accomplishing resolutions, is not having that support. And we need to find ways that we can find social support. And that might be family. It might be an accountability buddy. My TV just started downstairs and that was terrifying. But we're going to find a way that we are going to bring in someone else to help us stay accountable. Maybe it's just someone you're texting every day to let them know that, hey, I made progress towards my goal. Maybe you have a group of friends that you're texting to say, I worked out 15 minutes today, and then that can be a way to celebrate your wins as well, right? Because everybody's giving you a high five, kudos, and celebration. So find what works for you in staying accountable, and find the social support that you need. That social support also might come from things that you need from other people. Right? If you are, like me, a mother who works full time and has a husband and a child, it might be really important that you communicate with your spouse what your goal is and how they can help support you. Because for me, for example, I have to carve out time to record these videos. This is a goal of mine this year, is to grow this channel and grow my Kaizen Life planning business. And I have to carve out time to make this happen. And so that means asking my husband, can you take Oliver, my son, to go do something for the day, right? Or can I have time up in the office by myself so I can script a video or create a handout? But it's important that he knows that this is something that's really important to me so that he can help me achieve my goal. So having those conversations with the people that are important to you and are involved in your life day in, day out is really going to be important. So that concludes, why resolutions fail, how you can set your resolutions or goals to be successful. If you need a workbook or a tool to help you through this system where you're going to set clear, actionable goals that you can break down and then you can track, build resilience into that system, I've created a workbook. I'm going to link that down in the description. I'm selling it on Etsy. It's on sale right now for the next month, so go ahead and pop down in the description, hop on over to Etsy. If you want to support me on this channel, please like and subscribe if you want more content like this. You don't need the workbook to be successful. Just follow those step-by-step instructions, and you certainly too will be successful. If you want more inspiration and motivation to achieving your goals on your self-growth journey, follow me for more, and I'll look forward to seeing you along the journey. Bye.